why should I give a damn?
If you hear it hitting us up on YouTube, make sure you hit that subscribe button and the notification bell right away so you updated every time we drop some new content, new segments. And make sure for all the audio listeners out there, those who like to listen to podcasts, make sure you hitting us up on Spotify, iHeartRadio, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, anywhere you listen to your podcast at, we own that motherfucker. So make sure you checking us out there. Episode 139, we got a hell of a show ready once again. Let's talk about some shit, ladies and gentlemen, because we got a couple topics that I want to talk about. Let's start it off with this one. There was a post, I believe it was on Facebook. You know, everybody like to make bold ass statements on Facebook, and I want to ask this question, and I guess I gotta ask it to Breezy first, with her being the lady of the show. I guess I got to direct it to you because this lady said that talking someone into having sex is rape. I repeat, talking someone into having sex is rape. Breezy, if you feel, have you ever been in a situation because I don't want to just go off, because, you know, of course, I know the men, we have our opinions on this, and a lot of men that are listening, we have our opinions on this, but I want to know first account. Have you ever been in a situation where you've been talked out of your drawers and you felt like you was violated because somebody just talked you out your shit? Or do you know anybody who's been talked out their shit, and is that rape?
I can't say that I have. I can honestly say that there have been some situations where men force it, a little pushy. I think once you go past pushy, that's when it can be considered rape. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I always say, like, you can always walk away. That's one thing I have no issue with doing. Like, don't put yourself into situations, like, the vibes. A lot of time we know the vibes, but there are situations where, things can happen unexpectedly. So, I don't think that specifically talking someone into it. I think a lot of times we can catch the innuendos. We know the vibes. If you're going out, they're always buying you drinks. They try to make sure you get slapped before there's different things. That's one of the big ones. Like, they're going to get you full, but they're going to get you slapped too. Okay.
But that's red. I think that's a red flag. Women.
I think it is a red flag. You should pick up on it. A lot of times, as women, I think we know the pussy, the power is in our hands. So
does it depend how
fine? We're gonna give it a.
Right. Does it depend how fine he is? Is the question. Because I feel like a fine nigga can talk you out your drawers is not a rape charge coming. I'm just,
but look at some of the accusers. Trey Songz, he's fine and
he's rich though. Garbage men don't get accused of what Trey Songz got accused of. But Trey Songz ain't been convicted or nothing. I'm not saying he did it or not. But I'm just saying, substitute teachers, they're not getting accused of sexual assault. So I feel like some of this shit is rich, good-looking money nigga having. Money
Allegation
having
Nation.
I think once it becomes manipulative,
but
talking
what's manipulative though?
Where they try to get you drunk or they drug you or at least if they put the price out there,
that's illegal.
If they put the price out there, at least you know what it is.
But my thing is,
most time they're gonna ask you straight up, like, how much you want for it? Like, okay, I know what he's on.
At what point must women be held accountable for being tricked or swindled out of their drawers? Because at the end of the day, I understand. Like, I'm anti-rape, but when we think of rape, a lot of times we think of the by force rape, or we think of statutory rape. We have a limited view. So what this lady is talking about when she's talking about women being talked out, she's talking about the men that will manipulate you, gaslight you, or make women feel bad for not fucking because they didn't spend X amount of money and all this other stuff. Yeah. So she's talking about that type of stuff. But I feel like what she's talking about is more so women need to stand their ground. Now, if you're in a situation where you feel like a man is going to harm you if you don't do something, then that's different. Right. Now, if you feel threatened, now we're talking. Exactly. But if this is just a nigga that got a slick mouthpiece and is using clever words and leverage to try to get the pussy out of you, bitch, you need to upgrade. Shit.
It is typical. But it's like, walk away from that shit. Say no, block him.
Exactly.
Get him off, you know what I'm saying? So many.
we can't keep giving weaklings.
That's what I was
excuses,
gonna say.
okay?
Like it sounds kind of weak to me. Like
It's weak.
Like for the ladies, we're not talking about crimes or nothing like that. We just talking about he put some game in your ear and you fucked him. And then the next day he was like, I probably shouldn't have fucked him. Maybe
I
you
blame
shouldn't have.
I blame the parents, Ronnie.
What?
We need to be building up stronger women. We've been building up. A lot of these parents are trash, and they're building up these weakling ass women who are looking for every direction to find some strength out of.
Yeah,
because
so
you
a lot
really
of
shouldn't
women
be that gullible.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So because if you're that gullible to the point where you can be talked out of your draws, that's a just like when we talk about sports, right? If we're seeing people fall for basic tricks in sports, or we watching boxing and shit, and you do a basic move that gets you knocked out or some shit, what do? Oh, that's lack of fundamentals. That's lack of coaching. When I see women just falling for the okie doke and it's easy, that's lack of fundamentals. That's lack of coaching. That's lack of a father figure, lack of a mother figure who wasn't a hoe going herself. Because that's another thing too. If you got a woman that's being raised by a woman who was getting thotted out and slutted out herself, you got a sexy red ass Sukiyana mama, then how do we expect the next generation to be able to overcome those same whore hurdles? Oh, my bad, let me rewind. Whore hurdles.
Hordles.
It's hordle. There we go. Hordles. How do we expect the next generation to be able to jump over those hurdles that's been placed in front of them? So at the end of the day, like parenting and what you like, the foundation that's built plays a big plays a big part in this type of stuff.
Agreed.
Yeah, at the end of the day, I'm glad that we do have a lot of women out there that are, like I said, black women, especially black women, they doing their thing right now. They're getting educated. But, the good black women, the ones that have a shot, the ones who aren't on their fifth baby daddy in 2 years, the ones that have been just grinding, y'all got to be smart on who y'all fuck with right now, because y'all are the next generation. Y'all are the hope for the future.
Well, that's why I see you get in the game and you're doing your Steve Harvey, but that's why the younger creepy niggas are going for the super young girls.
Yeah.
We had this
They're going for the fresh meat.
Yeah, we had this conversation, off air group chat, and it's easier to manipulate. So you're gonna see the guys. The game is a little played out. Like Matthew McConaughey said, there's a new 21-year-old every day. They just blossom every day. So niggas is going fuck it, and I'm being real. Like it's niggas out here. Let's keep it honest. They're doing younger than 18. Niggas is getting early tonight. I knew that.
Shout out Marcus Houston.
I can't lie. I was at McDonald's a few weeks ago getting some coffee. I was up there early. The lobby was open, and it was some little fake trap niggas. It was a little older than me. Damn. And they was talking to the girl. It was an old lady and it was a young lady. It was an old lady and a young lady. And the young lady is like, let me get your number. She said, I'm 16. And the guys ran out of there. Like comic, almost comedically. But I was like, y'all was talking to her for like 3 or 4 minutes. So at no point, you gonna tell me you didn't peek?
They should know by the face.
This bitch probably was talking about dumb shit. Like I said, when you go to the gas station and the bitch is buying chips.
A lot of niggas be so
soda,
thirsty,
like,
they don't even see the shit.
She's not old enough. She's not even buying cigarettes or a vape. You buying chips,
these niggas,
candy and
Well, at
shit.
least they ran out when she said the age.
Yeah, they ran out probably because
niggas-
I came in here and said the age. If I wasn't, they probably would have tried to recruit her, honestly. But I'm like, you could talk to somebody and realize, oh, this bitch is not even.
They be
like,
so
You
thirsty.
can hear it in their voice. They ain't grown. Like that's my whole thing. Like that's wild.
Yeah, she done just got out her car seat, and y'all sitting there. Y'all so thirsty, y'all don't see what's going on.
Because
right
you
now.
know what? The
got
older,
on
more
his
mature
lash- all they
women
got
got
on
their
his
game.
long-ass
Some niggas don't
lashes.
elevate their game in their life, so it's just like I gotta stay at this level. But I'm
Right.
getting older. That's why you
Right.
see the older niggas with the. I mean, I've dated chicks, 2 chicks. 3. Their dad was like 20 years older than the mom. The mom was in high school. Like I was like, oh, that's where the dad problems come in. And I'm like, oh, you have this old creepy pimp dad nigga who washed now. So it's like that happens. So to see it in real life, I'm like, damn, like niggas gotta do. Like this is the thing. People think I bash women. I don't fuck with nobody really. Niggas is burnt to me. I don't have sex with niggas. I don't fuck with niggas. So I pay more attention to women, but niggas is burnt to me. So I don't defend bum niggas, creepy niggas, but I just want people to be aware. It's not victim shaming. Be armed, ladies. Be aware. When you jogging with your Lululemon on, take the noise cancellation headphones out. Run with mace. Take self-defense. Get a gun. That's what we're saying because trust me, lady. Good niggas like me, Ronnie, Eric, everybody here, we don't know creepy niggas, but creepy niggas
They
exist
around,
amongst us.
And the
Trust me,
world.
when a dude sexually assault a woman, he not coming to the smoke section and we playing the game and we chilling. Oh, I just got a body.
Yeah.
We don't know. Trust
don't
me,
know,
them niggas are sick. So it's like, do your part so we could do our part.
That's what they don't realize. That's why they lump us all together,
Yeah.
because a lot of women, for some reason, they think that, yeah, like you said, we be playing 2K and the niggas just be, oh yeah, I just raped 2 bitches yesterday. Like niggas, most of the
They
time,
be wanting us to talk to these men and like
we don't know who they are
like,
because
who-
most of the time they rolling solo and they doing it on the low, and nobody knows until they get caught. So you never know nowadays. But that's why I'm always for pussy verification before you certify a friendship with somebody. Okay, you need to be getting an adequate amount of pussy, because if you're not getting pussy or I'm not verifying pussy, I have to assume you either hating on mine or you doing some other questionable shit that you don't want seen at the surface, okay? So I need pussy verification before I go even
Records?
farther in this shit. I need to see pussy records. Because it be the no pussy, never seen them get pussy ass niggas that be doing all this weirdo shit. Didn't nobody see fucking, what's the nigga, Jeffrey Dahmer? Ain't nobody see Jeffrey Dahmer getting no pussy. Nobody see him getting no pussy. Like I said,
What's the
red
okay, I'm
flags.
sorry, I'm confused. This pussy verification. What view are you saying it from? Your view or the woman's view? Because you said
No,
some
our
crazy
view.
No, I'm
'cause
saying,
like,
I'm saying it from like my view. I'm saying like when
he
it
ain't
comes
get no pussy.
like
I had to
men
cut a nigga
hanging
off
with
for that.
men,
Oh,
right?
okay. You
Like,
kind of scared me.
He
No,
don't
yeah.
He won't get no pussy. I'm like,
Right.
he gotta go.
Niggas who don't get pussy or you just don't know what they get, they just kind of a mystery. A lot of time those niggas be the creepies, double life having, you don't know what's
What do
going on.
we gotta do when
type
our guys
niggas.
come back? Like, do we gotta do like the women do? Like, let me smell you. Was you fucking?
No,
Like,
no,
how
not
extreme?
that.
You can
but
tell.
I need
You can
to
tell
see-
by how he walk and his views
Exactly.
on women. Like,
Yeah.
like
And I need to see your
'cause we all
pursuit
be
of
talking shit
bitches. I
about
need to
women.
see successful transactions. I need to
What
hear
about like the fresh
When
and
you-
fit guys?
Yeah, like them type niggas. Like when they be
they
mad,
get women though.
they don't get no pussy. They pay for.
They
pussy.
get women now that they got money with the podcast,
Yeah.
but I'm not finna listen to no fresh and fit nigga anything they got to say about a bitch, because they're the worst type of niggas ever. They're the nerdy, never got pussy niggas, but then got a little degree in journalism or something, and now you get a bitch or two and think you just can talk about women all fucking think you're Kevin Samuels now. Like those are the worst type of niggas. The just now getting pussy in my 30s niggas. Those are the worst niggas on earth. I can't stand none of them. Just now getting pussy, and I'm 35 years old and shit, and I'm in my prime now, niggas. Like those are the bottom of the barrel niggas right there, because them are the niggas who talk the most shit about women, have the highest standards, and those 35 just now getting pussy niggas. Those are the main niggas who talk the most about, oh, these women don't submit. They not submitting. Because
you a pussy.
Nigga, you
That's
just
wild.
now graduated from a one-bedroom apartment last year, my nigga. You're 35 with 4 kids, 2 baby mamas. Stop it, okay? You don't deserve half of the shit you're asking for. So that's what my problem with those type of niggas. So shout out to them. Fuck them. Shout them at the same time. But it's just me.
Shout 'em out.
Yeah, fuck them and shout them out. I want to acknowledge them because I want people to understand they're out there. Fuck, but I also want to give a fuck them because they don't deserve no pussy. Like I said, whatever. In the words of the great prophet Cardi B, broke niggas don't deserve no pussy. I know that's right. Shout out to them. Next topic, though, I want to talk about since we're moving it along. And we're talking about bitch nigga shit, fuck nigga shit. Let's bring up a fuck nigga who brought up some shit. He said, we're going to pull up a post where somebody pretty much said that they don't feel like being called a racial slur warrants a physical altercation, basically. So basically what they're trying to break down for the niggas who don't really know how to read and, you know, we're level 2s and belows and then reading and comprehension levels of the test. They don't feel like people who say racial slurs to black people deserve to get their ass beat. And, you know, you got a lot of these new blacks that are in the category of we need to get over that fighting people over saying nigga and all this other shit.
Can I give context? Because this was the video, the latest video, which I love, of a white woman in the store calling 2 black girls nigga, the N-word with a hard R. Of course, she said it faintly walking away. They were recording. That's clout chasing, but that's another story. But they were recording because, you know, honestly, it was clout chasing, but it's also safety for niggas because
They need proof.
Yeah, as I say. So let me take that back. I won't say that. I
If
love
you just beat ass with no proof, it's going to be a...
Yeah, so I'll give it that. So she said it as she's walking off. I've heard that many times on video. Hard R. And she said, I'm going to whoop their ass. And then it cut like a low budget film and just cut the outside, her begging for her life.
The crazy thing about it is the white lady boyfriend was black. So when the chicks came outside and told him what happened, he was shocked. He was
that
like,
was her boyfriend.
He was like, she did. And then once he heard it, she said, ER or whatever. He stopped defending the bitch. Like, he was done her like, shit, y'all got her.
That changed it. I thought he was just like a random crackhead Captain Save-A-Ho coon nigga. I didn't know that was like a boyfriend. That kind of changes the conversation. I thought it was just a coon, because I've seen that a lot too. I've seen a white lady say the racial slur, the black person be it, and I've seen a random black dude always protect. So that kind of changes it. You want to save your meal ticket, your trailer park ticket. I understand that, but do you? I mean, he has a point, but at that time, I don't like that message of we need to turn the other cheek, because I've been caught a nigga with a hard R by somebody I thought was cool, and we scrapped for a minute. We had a little.
Y'all was fighting for 5 minutes?
No, we fought a few times, and we caught him lacking a few times. That's mad disrespectful, and I don't like that as like that's my little last car. And my older brother's gay, and he is anti. He don't call me the N word. He told me I'd rather you call me the F word than the N word. He told me that, and I'm like, that's crazy. So, he lives a different life. He's probably with more racist tones, but I don't take that lightly, only because I feel like that's just disrespect. And that's the one thing I don't. You can call me a lot of names, but once you're doing that, you're kind of doing a low blow. You want me to react, and I rarely show my nigga side. I used to, but I don't as much.
I feel like
and
that's
the one
fighting
time
words.
I will.
Yeah, I was gonna say, yeah. Like,
I believe in fighting words. Like,
No,
if a man if you look me in the eye and call me a bitch,
it's time to fight.
I gotta hit you on your
It's
shit.
time to go.
White people, you calling me niggas or out of anger. Like I said, now, if you rapping a song or some shit that ain't got to do with me, and you doing some stupid shit and saying nigga, then I kind of do case by case with white people with that. Because sometimes it ain't worth.
It's about their passion level when they say it.
I mean, if I'm at a concert and the weekend comes on and white people scream nigga,
Is a room full of niggas.
is a room full of nigga? Is it really worth
It's a
fucking the
room full of
vibe up,
crackers.
smacking one
Y'all
of these
better not do
white
that
people
shit.
around? Like,
Fuck that.
Ronnie
are
Garvey
you
be
really
on
gonna fuck up the spunk
Fuck
train,
that.
Ronnie?
P. Newton.
Fuck that. Y'all white people, y'all do that shit if y'all want.
So you at a Vegas rooftop party?
Give a fuck.
It's
I don't give a fuck if I'm at a
fireworks and
KKK
champagne
party. They
being
better not say
passed,
that shit.
And
You gonna turn the Jet Li
weekend,
to
weekend
one?
come out, Ronnie. He like, it's a room full of
Crackers.
niggas. And it's a little white girl and
That's
shit.
what I'm saying.
Niggas,
That's what I'm saying.
you sweating her?
The cracker,
I'm
the
sweating
cracker
that
shit
bitch.
don't hit. That don't
Ronnie,
affect
you
them.
gonna get kicked out.
Give a
It ain't even
fuck.
worth
Shit.
it.
I don't give a fuck.
We gotta let that shit slide.
Cracker don't.
I ain't letting.
I'm gonna
I ain't
say
letting
let
that
it
Let's not
shit
get
slide.
Cooney in
It's
here.
I ain't
for
letting
the
that shit slide.
concert.
George Cooney. Shit, let's not get Cooney now.
I'm
We not letting
letting
it
it
I'm gonna
slide.
flame their ass
but-
the rest of the night. They gonna have to fight.
They
me.
always say that shit at the concerts. Have y'all not
Do they say
noticed?
that
Like,
when you line
anytime
them
they
up?
say a nigga, they saying it right
You
with
give 'em a
them.
little buzz cut. They say that. This nigga shows
No.
you got some hair. What's your limits? Because you're letting shit slide. I want to
Wait,
know.
I
He
said the
said-
This nigga
concerts.
short
Like,
can
they
get
been,
nice
of course
fade.
they saying that shit at the concerts. They say that shit in their car.
So just the concert.
Y'all just be slapped. Y'all don't
Look,
pay
with
attention
the
to
music,
it. Bet you
like-
pay attention to it now.
With
Shit.
the music, I kind of give it. I won't say I give it a
I better say that
pass.
shit on the low.
But I'm not finna fuck up the
Yelling
feng
that
shui or
shit.
fuck up my concert experience
No.
fighting a bunch of white motherfuckers saying nigga. Because at the end of the day, I mean, a lot of these artists allow this shit. There's artists like ASAP Rocky and shit that be saying, white people, y'all can say nigga right now. So you got a lot of these artists advocating this shit.
Rap back in your day, right?
Hell, never, mama. That's
I remember
disgusting.
we
I
went
would
to a
never
couple
do such-
little
I would
bar,
never do such
bar
a thing.
performances.
I would never do such a thing. That's
Let's
absolutely
clap
disgusting.
unity, nigga.
I don't believe it. Look, man, this is my thing. When I'm in a bar and I know there's like an infamous nigga part coming, I like to stare white people in the eyes to see. And then when they say nigga, they'll look. And then I like to look at the guilt and just stare the guilt out at them, make them see the fear for a second.
Eric, I just want you to
You
live
know
the
they
life
say
of a
that
regular
shit.
sized nigga for like a month. Because you be talking big.
They be talking big dog
I don't got
shit.
that. I mean, I do, but you're a big, intimidating nigga. Like, I want
I
you to
just
live
like
normal
to
height.
see it.
He said, I'm going to just
like
stare
to-
at a nigga and see if he
Like
say
you be a
it.
little more humble.
I just like to see it and watch them, man, because they
Little
be
more
like,
strapped
room
up.
full of niggas.
They
and
might
looking
not say
around.
it directly next to you, but
They
they
not gonna
saying
say
that
it
shit if
there.
ain't nobody around. They always do.
Yeah, if ain't nobody around, cool. If a
Fuck
tree
yeah.
fall, ain't nobody around, do you hear it? No. Like, I
Look,
don't give a fuck.
they've been saying
And
it.
Ronnie, you
just
do
don't-
slave
Y'all
role plays
beloved
with the white
Eminem.
It
girls.
was just
so
at the Future
they probably
concert.
say
The
nigga
white people in
sometimes.
there was saying
Oh my
nigga.
God.
Shit.
Yeah.
Bree, you wouldn't let your white, you had a fine rich white dude? You
No,
wouldn't let
I
him
don't
say
like
nigga?
nobody say nigga. I left a
Price
bar
is
once
right.
because this white dude was saying nigga. It was in West Dallas. It was making me sick.
Oh, that's.
I mean,
I was
it's
like,
West
I have to
Dallas.
go.
West Dallas
Like I
changed
said,
that.
nothing is worse
My
than the
surprise.
ratchet white chick
Ratchet white dude
who's had a mixed baby and feels like she can say nigga. They say nigga more than anybody. Nigga. If you don't shut your fucking poor homeless Krayshawn looking ass up.
So,
I'm sick
real
of-
question: do y'all ever think that we should like? Because what's gonna happen? This is gonna be forever, past when we're past. So, do we stop saying as a people? Do we just let it go, or do we just do it case by case every time and just act the ass every time? What's the problem? Because the thing is, we're gonna continually say it's gonna be in pop culture. If y'all know, like white people say nigga to each other. That's just a word to them. So
That's crazy.
Do we? It is crazy.
Why they just don't call each other
Unfortunately,
cracker?
Yeah,
Cracker,
unfortunately,
please.
Colin,
Cool.
I don't think it's gonna be up. That's an excellent question, by the way. But unfortunately, I don't think it's gonna be up to us. I think the generations after us is gonna be decided. Because I think our
They
generation,
damn near seem more.
we're
like,
the last of the whoop you for saying nigga generation.
Yeah, the new generation.
That's kind of how we are. We're always gonna have that. We were built and bred and raised on that. These new white blacks, they're more integrated with whites than we were. So they're gonna be more lenient when it comes to shit, and they're not gonna have that. Like I said, and also like the progression of black people has elevated since us growing up in the 90s.
Yeah, that's true.
Us growing up in the 90s compared to niggas now. Like I said, niggas now are growing up with iPads in condos with Section 8 and living a great life with full refrigerators because they got wicked shit. So it's a whole different world, whole different life, whole different shit. These new
Spirit
black
of Trump just took over your ass.
and then on top of that, let's just and let me be clear. Black people are more educated than they ever been right now. Black people are in so many more fields now than they were even in the 90s. So black people are getting to the money. Like I always try to tell people, black people don't make us out to be these broke ass welfare motherfuckers. Like black people are getting to the money. But with that, with the black people getting to the money, we're raising a new age of spoiled blacks, which unfortunately, even when we have the money to give them that white spoiledness, we don't have the privilege to protect them in the world of in the world. So what's happening is we're raising our kids like the white folks, but we don't have white privilege. So we're setting them up for failure. So it's a weird dynamic going on right now. But at the end of the day, I'm always roll with niggas. But it's a scary time right now because it's like the future's going to be crazy. When it comes to saying nigga, calling people nigga, my generation is always going to rebuke it and beat ass. But I think in 20 to 30 years, I think white people will be able to say nigga freely. It'll be just common.
Well, in
they're going to be all on
20,
TikTok
30
or
years,
whatever
there's going to
the
be
new shit.
way more mixed Steph Curry, baby. So
Right.
everybody going to be so twisted, mixed. You know, you're going to be a little part nigga. You can say it pretty soon.
Right, yeah. It's going to be a different.
Everybody
shit.
want to be a nigga to the time to be a nigga.
That's true.
Yeah, exactly. And that's another thing, too. With us mixing so much, we mix more than any other race.
I mean, because I'm not going to have a mixed baby. They're saying nigga. I told my girl, they're saying nigga off rip. So she said, really? I'm like, yeah, that's in there. You got to let them know, like, well, you're a nigga. Hop. The rest of the
We're
percentage.
not talking about
that
mixed
kinda
kids. We
fades out.
talking
Depends
about
on the hair-
white people.
depends on
But
the hair
I'm saying
texture.
it's gonna be less and less white people. I agree with. I'm just saying nigga gonna be so in the vernacular conversation. I'm telling you, you know, you got some kids. They might have a little white boy that can say nigga, white girl that can say nigga. What you gonna beat them up? You gonna be old by then.
Look,
Like,
if
come on
I
now.
see a white
Like
the
Ronnie
only
thinking
time,
about it, like damn, a young white nigga might whoop my ass.
the only time I don't say nothing is if I
Sit
see
down,
a-
Uncle Ben.
is if I see a tatted up white dude saying nigga around hood niggas.
That happened.
I don't say nothing, you know, cause in my mind I'm like, okay,
Can't say nothing, but
he
then
had to
it's
did
like
some shit.
he did
to
something.
earn that nigga, cause otherwise they would have been stomped his
But
little
not the
ass
case.
out.
But a lot, like the white people who really grew up in it and like out in public and shit, they're not saying it because they
Yeah,
know
they
it.
know.
Yeah,
I
they
know
know.
some
They
people
were-
that kind of got a fake pass and been out in public, and it's like you're getting sweated, and I'm pro sweating, and I'll help sweat you. But I know some white people back in the day who was like, "Oh, you grew up in," and they know in public, they're not saying it, but when they around their people, they have a pass. So it's tough. It is a word, but it's just like that goes back to black people. We need to gatekeep more. We
Yeah,
kind
they
of
let
shit
everybody
slide.
come in to the party and shit. Like this
So
shit
now
crazy.
it's we gotta do it before it's too late. Because at a certain point, that's why I said
It's too late now.
it's-
Shit.
I think it really is too late. I think with social media,
White people
everybody,
gatekeep, Mexicans gatekeep, Chinese
So right.
gatekeep,
Mexicans
religions
gonna rep
gatekeep.
they shit because you even saw this past weekend with the Tank versus Garcia fight, and mind you, he got the sombrero knocked off his head and had extra mild sauce dripping down his head by the end of this fight.
Damn.
Shout
it
out
was
to
salsa just popping out his nose,
Yeah,
face.
exactly.
Crazy,
straight and then knocked the beans out his fucking rib cage.
man.
What they say, duck your
Shit.
taco. They don't say
Plenty
Chicago.
queso
Shout out to our
that-
producer, duck your
Exactly.
taco.
I'm like, this motherfucking Tank had queso sauce all over his
I mean,
gloves
it was crazy.
by the end of the fight because
crazy.
you motherfuckers, and what pissed me off is, going back to what we were just talking about, you not going, one thing, you want to know what I respect about the Mexicans is when it's like a Mexican fight or when it's like time to talk about Mexican culture, they gonna ride with
they
their
stand with
people
they
no
shit.
matter what.
Yeah.
They 10 toes down. So I can respect the Mexicans for that. I had one of my Mexican coworkers come over for the Tank fight. And even though he got humiliated and embarrassed, he had a sombrero on, he had the Mexican flag, he didn't give a fuck. And all of us kind of agreed that even though we knew he was an idiot, we respected the fact
The
that he was going to
pride.
be 10 toes. Like, only
pride
niggas do
for
this
his culture.
tippy toe. Only niggas are pro every race.
I'm
Like,
Yeah.
gonna
all
put
this little equality shit is only niggas do
I'm gonna
that.
put a
Yeah.
caveat there. When Garcia lost, he slowly did take it off on some Curb Your
Oh, yeah, he
Enthusiasm
did.
shit. He didn't keep the sombrero and the
He
poncho
did
on
get-
the whole
yeah, he-
night, but when
Yeah.
I'm gonna say he took it off very in defeat. But overall, he had it. I
He
loved
did
it.
the
Fight was
Homer
over.
Simpson Bush
But
meme.
Eric, you're talking
Fight
shit. You
over
didn't
now.
have, you didn't have no dashiki on.
No, but exactly. And when I saw him, he made me, he's like, you know what? I got to have a
Next
dashiki.
fight,
I
we
got to
need
have some
dashikis.
kente cloth next episode. I got to hit up Nancy
Niggas need to know our
Pelosi.
history. We gonna just put African shit
I
on.
gotta
any
hit up
nigga.
Nancy Pelosi, see if she can throw me some kente. Because next fight, I have to be on my shit because I'm like, he came correct with the shit. So I'm all for people be having pride in their culture. I just wish black people had more pride in ours. You know, I can't hate on the next culture for having pride in their shit because we don't have pride in ours. So, you know, if we the shit. We got a lot of shit going for us, but we gotta have pride in our shit. But speaking of pride. We got to talk about a fighter by the name of Jake Shields. He's a mixed martial arts fighter, and he recently went on Twitter and caught a lot of backlash, but he also caught a lot of support because, you know, he's a fighter, and he said basically he wanted to challenge all the trans men, meaning women who have transitioned to being men. He wanted to challenge them all to fights. He said, give me the top trans men fighters, and I'll fight all of them. I'll fight them all. Challenge them. And a lot of us are giving them backlash, and I'm like, well, if that's what y'all want, I'm like, if you're a trans man and you're trying to prove you up there with the big dogs, don't you want to get called out by the big dogs? I don't understand the problem. Like, get on the level that you're trying to be on. Like, if I'm out here talking about I'm a wide receiver and I'm cold, and DeAndre Hopkins like, hey, come over here and then let's have a catch competition, I'm going over there with DeAndre. So you niggas talking about y'all that nigga, well, I need to see if you that nigga.
I still get
Is
the
it justified or
analogy,
is it forced?
so-
People?
Well, never mind. Just keep going.
You understand? Is it just? Do y'all think that he was out of bounds as a natural born man? I think I can get. I guess I'll get canceled for saying that. I can't say that. Natural born man. Wow, that's terrible.
That might be the technical term,
Right.
actually.
But
They
Do you
canceled
think
Aretha
that-
Franklin, so I don't know.
well, fuck whoever did that. But do you think
man.
that as a natural born man, he was out of bounds for challenging trans fighters, or do y'all think that if somebody is identifying as a man or saying that they feel like they are a man, they deserve to get equally called out as any other man?
I don't know. I feel like he's trying to prove something, so I'm not super opposed to it.
We know what he trying to prove.
Like,
It's not the first
need to keep
time.
the
He
sports
kind of
separate.
clout chase on this.
There's a little clout chase.
Yeah, he's like this is like I think like the third time I've seen him do some like he seems like a MAGA fighter. That's what I'm getting.
But
from
have
him.
any trans men stepped up to
Of
him
course
yet, though?
not. Of
What?
course not. Of course
Sounds like we
Well, it would
already
be
know.
funny if he got whooped by a trans man. Now,
There's
that'd be
probably
hilarious.
he probably would get more from a trans woman. He probably would get because there's trans women who compete in kickboxing, MMA. So he probably would get them. But you know, listen, I I let people live their life. I know when it comes to sports, it's definitely a bad
See,
advantage.
Hey,
In combat
yeah.
sports, I feel like that should be outlawed. But
let me tell you this.
no, I'm gonna tell you, he's not gonna get anybody except that.
I wouldn't
challenge. He got
mind
his
watching
clout.
that though. A woman, a man who transitioned to a woman, fight a man.
That's an equal fight.
I wouldn't mind seeing that. I ain't gonna lie. That would be an
It's probably
interesting
not
fight.
equal fight because they're taking
That's what he should
estrogen
do.
now.
That's what he should do.
Or they taking testosterone.
He should challenge a trans woman because I thought that's what this was at first,
No,
but now that I
it's a
see
man.
what it is, so he gonna be beating up bitches.
At the end of the
Pretty
day, if
much.
you want to be in that
Oh,
category,
man.
That's what I'm saying. It's kind of wild though.
Yeah.
look,
It changed your whole shit. You had to reread it. Like it's kind
Nah,
At the
bro,
end of
he
the
wrong,
day,
man.
that's
He
more-
wrong for this challenge, man. He out of
That's what I'm saying.
pocket.
I'm like,
I
the
think it's more of
hell?
an attention type of thing.
I think it's a fuck around and find
Oh,
out
that's
equation.
facts.
That's what it is. And I feel like when it comes to certain shit, if we want people to understand why we don't do certain things, well, we need to become a fuck around and find out society. I feel like it's fuck around and find out.
I think he was
era
on
now.
YouTube or a blog, and he probably seen one trans man fighter like dog somebody and just got outraged. That's what I'm getting from it. Because like I said, Jake Shields, he hasn't been in UFC in a long time. He was in UFC.
So you old.
He's not. He fights in like other leagues, but he's not a UFC guy. Okay. So I think he kind of knows, like, cause I see his name about once every 6 months. He says some anti-trans, anti-gay stuff. He challenges people. I don't think he's serious, but I think he's definitely passionate. I think he's pivoting towards.
So
Well,
what's his deal? Why he want to fight these people?
Well, that's the thing to me.
These-
That's
these,
Because he's
transition
I mean,
people.
I hate to say that, but he's probably just homophobic. He don't like gay people.
that, and
He
he's
wanna-
like
he
you
wanna
said,
whoop
the
their
MAGA
ass.
shit matters. Cause that's where I feel like it starts getting corny once you go out and once your whole identity is
Yeah,
anti-LGBT
that's his
and trans. Because at the end of the day, I'm no D Wade or nothing like that. I'm not sitting up here and trying to be the
You're
ambassador.
no D Wade or no Jake Shields.
I'm
You're
not
in
the
middle.
ambassador of transitioning and all that other shit like D Wade and Gabrielle. But at the end of the day, I don't feel like you should create a whole identity on bashing these people and putting all this energy into bad. Like, let people do what they do, and we'll see how it ends up.
What if you make money? What if you can make money off of it? 'Cause
Off
that's
being
the lane.
Well, I get, and like I said, I get that, but I don't like that lane. Now I can't hate on the motherfucker if they're getting money. I don't agree with it, but like I said, me agreeing.
I
with
think
it
black
is
people, we need
relevant.
to stop on this hating. We don't need to hate niggas that get. I'm hating on niggas that get certain type of money.
No, I hate
Pimp,
that.
sir,
But what
like,
I'm saying
I get
is
what you're
I
saying,
am a
but
hater. I am a hater.
I don't hear. I just think
You don't
niggas.
like
But
pimps?
I'm acknowledging
No, I
that
hate
no,
pimps.
even if I hate
I
it,
pimps.
it's not gonna
My
stop
bad,
the
Ronnie.
money
I
flow.
don't want to fuck your money up, but I hate
know.
pimps. Sorry.
I know.
It's just certain lines of work. If you're getting money, it's not good money, and I don't respect it. But I'm just a normal
Pimps
nigga.
are necessary. Pimps
they're
are
like
necessary.
really just
though.
middlemen.
I don't think they're wait in
Because it's
2020.
easy. You don't need a pimp no more.
I was
Pimp
gonna say,
ain't
pimps is
necessary.
obsolete.
Yeah,
The
they
reason
are.
why
A
you-
pimp is
Bitches
like
is-
a
bitches
VCR.
is
Like,
going
what you got that
independent
for?
You know what I'm saying?
And those
Yeah.
bitches getting knocked out, raped, hit. Rick Ross, you ain't even know it. Versus, like at the end of the day, the whole reason for a pimp was for protection. Now these new pimps, I agree. A lot of these motherfuckers, they're not. They're just middlemen. They're not offering no muscle, no nothing. But the whole point of as a pimp is when you're dealing with multiple men on a daily basis as a woman.
They got your schedule.
You can get raped, you can get stalked, you can get hit, and if you don't got no manpower behind you, it's like selling drugs. Eventually, a motherfucker's gonna take over your shit. So, and then unless you got some UFC bitches or a bunch of like Clarissa Shields type bitches on your squad, you may not need a pimp per se, but you need a man, a dominant male in your shit for your prostitution shit to be successful.
This nigga Eric passionate about it. I didn't.
No,
have
I'm just
that
You
saying.
need a bodyguard.
It just is what
You
it
can
is.
start a
with
new
it.
service.
Yeah, your
Yeah.
1099 said pimp on it. Yeah,
I can't do the pimp shit because it's just too much. But
What would be,
I
what would be
understand
the what would
they
be
are.
the going rate for your hoes
I don't know what the-
Rate
what's the going
250 at the minimum.
What's it going rate for pussy, Ronnie?
for the
So the
hour?
pimp-
What's the hourly
250.
rate?
It all
hour
comes
at
down to
the
what type
minimum.
of hoes you can recruit, though. Like I
that's
said, if you
true.
got 10
That's a budget hoe
Rasputians,
right
you
there.
can, I mean, that
On
is
top
what
tier pussy, $500 an hour.
For an hour?
But see, if I was
If you got
pimping,
4 Monique Parkers,
if I was
what can you
pimping, though,
charge?
I wouldn't. I
People
wouldn't
like
finesse,
those, though.
finesse my hoes. Like I'd be like, look, baby, give me half
You be in love with
today, and then tomorrow.
Half. You gotta do at least 60,
Ronnie,
40.
you strike me
Nah,
as
nah.
Ronnie, you strike
I
me as the
said
type of
today,
nigga that'll be fucking
every
the top
Monday-
hoe.
Yeah,
Like,
of course,
Every
of
Monday,
course.
my hoes they give me half, so they got a little extra in their
but I
pocket.
feel like you a wife
the
the
rest of
top
the
hoe
week-
and make her feel
Use
special.
a bum
Nah.
hoe if you fucking for half. I'm gonna just tell you that right now. That ain't shit, Ronnie.
No, I'm
I
talking
just
about
hope
half our
nobody-
profits come to me.
No.
That's a
I
crazy
can hire a
lifestyle.
bodyguard for cheaper than that.
Shit.
And that's what I'm saying. Like, as a woman, if you want to cut out them pimp, You got to be on the level where you can hire a bodyguard or hire your own security. Yeah. Then you can cut the pimp off. But if you can't, which a lot of these chicks, like I said, all they know is slutting. They don't really have those type of skills. They have to rely on a pimp. Now, if you're on the level where, like we see a lot of these porn stars and strippers, they're because of the internet, their brand has skyrocketed to another level. Yep. So you can see they can go on tour state to state and do little shit because they can afford to have 3 little niggas or a little security team. They don't need a pimp. But for the average little bitch in the hood, she needs a pimp because otherwise she gonna get dragged in a brick building somewhere.
Get robbed.
Yeah. So, or what's to stop a motherfucker not from pandering, doing the old fashioned Grand Theft Auto?
I didn't know you were pro pimp. That's
running over. I'm not pro pimp, but at the end of the day, I understand why pimps.
It's like
there's rules to pimp.
Yeah, it's like you need an assistant.
If you really think about it, pimps are really pro women's rights because without pimps, women don't get paid correctly.
Pro women's rights.
That's true. It's all about getting women
the right to slap them up, choke them out, and fuck them when they don't give you the money.
Pimps are pro women rights. So shout out to the pimps that are making sure that our women are getting money, getting paid. That's that pimps.
Well, y'all put me in my place. I guess pimps are good. I didn't like them, but they convinced me that pimps are swell guys.
Pimps actually have been putting money in the pockets of women for centuries. So that we got to give them their credit when credit is due.
Rest in peace, Pimp C.
Yeah, you getting your throat fucked to death, and I get half your money, and I didn't do shit.
Yeah, who's giving up half?
That's crazy. Y'all niggas, that's an interesting take.
But I since we're talking about half. Since we're talking about giving up half, we got to talk about the teacher who had half her ass out.
That motherfucker was fat too.
Had half her ass out. You had a little dress. I mean, crazy. I mean,
another reason why she shouldn't have been fighting.
I can see Ronnie Kidd getting fighting with a teacher and was like, damn, she do got a fat ass though. I might let it slide.
I got to go off on a brief tangent because I recently, like I said, my daughter, she has this little gay teacher.
Oh my God.
And my problem with the gay teacher is the gay teacher, it's a guy. The gay teacher always has to have a more crazier, flamboyant outfit than the women have, and is always doing some off-brand shit every time I walk in. So the other day I walked in to pick up the kids, and the gay teacher in the middle of this gym doing the splits with some leggings on.
Really? The male
gay teacher.
So he identified as a woman, or
it's a man. It's a full. He has an aftershave, bumps on his neck, and everything. Sitting there doing the damn splits, he looked like Cole from Martin. Just imagine Cole from Martin with leggings doing splits when you go to pick your daughters up.
That's not the teacher you said was strapped though, right?
No,
big titty.
Never.
I'm like, damn, I know.
I might get canceled for this, but I think they should keep that out of school, man. Like
that's
gay
what I was
shit.
saying. We're
like
gonna
it should be a male dress code. There should no male teacher
for it because
be having no leggings on in the splits. That's ridiculous.
It's no different than a heterosexual female teacher. You don't want no female teacher showing up with leggings on doing the splits in front of your kids. It's not about even gay or straight. It's about just teachers in general. I don't want y'all doing over-sexualized, overhyped, for shit in front of my...
They need to fire
There should be a certain level of class and a certain level of maturity around my kid. Now, what's happened now is the LGBT community has gotten so much power and has put themselves in such a victim position that now they can do whatever the fuck they want to do, and you can't really fight back because the second you say something, oh, you're homophobic, you're this, you're that. So now even with the kids, you're helpless. He doing the splits. He don't give a fuck. I'm LGBT. Do something, bitch. I'll get you canceled. So ain't nothing we can do.
I would just ask them, like, they say clothes is genderless, but I think they are. Like, I think it's clothes for women. And he's a man. He could be a gay man, whatever. We wear male clothes.
Man, look, as soon as I walk in the gym, I hear his voice over everybody. He yelling and doing all sorts of clout chasing shit. Come on, y'all. Hitting the splits, doing little dances and shit. None of the other teachers are doing this. None of the other teachers.
So you like your gay teachers quiet and humble.
I like my teachers, period. I don't even want to know I don't want to know if you're gay or straight. I just want you to be a teacher.
I agree.
That's how I was when we was in school.
Like
we had plenty of gay teachers, but they wasn't like, I'm gay.
But one
because even my straight teachers, right? If I can tell you're straight, that means you're doing something in a sexual sense that's allowing me to know your preference, which you shouldn't be doing around kids. Yeah. It's that simple. It's that simple.
Everybody needs to be non-binary.
It should be just...
What? You said everybody need to be non-binary.
Yeah,
in
like
school,
you just throwing grenades.
Like in professional world, like you need to be like non-binary.
No, you need to be binary. I think you're wrong. I think you're just trying to throw grenades in there. But
I mean,
you
whatever
need to,
you are,
like,
I should know
nobody
what
should
it
be
is.
able to detect you. That's what I'm saying. Like,
Oh, I
you
got
should
you.
know
You should be
what it is.
untraceable.
You
You
should
should
be
be
untraceable,
untraceable.
undetectable.
Like I
It
said,
could
the
be
only
we
way I
wanna
should,
be, but
Be a conversation.
as a teacher, the
where-
only
They already took human growth and development and all that shit out of school,
Thank
so
you.
it shouldn't even be a discussion anymore.
as a teacher, the only way I should know your preference is if you have a wedding ring on. That's it.
That's true.
If you don't have a wedding ring on, then it should be a mystery to me and it should be irrelevant to me because it's not my business. Simple.
So the
like,
teacher ain't
what
even
happened to
married?
shit not being people's business? Now everybody want to put this little non-binary, non-binary bullshit in people's heads and shit. I don't want to hear that shit. I don't give a fuck about that shit. Who you're fucking does not equate to education. Keep that shit on your own. They trying to mix shit up. Like I said, what they doing now is they acting like a fucked up bartender and they just mixing shit. You don't know what they mixed. They done put some whole little Jose Cuervo Ninja in your shit. You don't know. They feeding your kids all sorts of bullshit. And they coming home drunk off bullshit. We need to get on our shit.
I mean, but I know kids got questions too about that. So I'm just like, as a parent, what do you tell your
Educate
kid? Like,
them at home. We don't need that shit at school.
if my kid came home and was like, "Dad, it's a teacher. He be wearing leggings." I'm like, what? Like, I'm just confused. Like, why? Like, I don't know.
Like I said, I shouldn't. You shouldn't be the first. I just don't understand why that person
What do I
has to
tell
be the
my
first
son?
fit noticeable every time.
That's one thing I can say is that's that lib shit. It's that liberal shit.
It is.
You know, Waukesha's not having that shit right now. They've banned rainbows from schools. They getting hella flagged. They banned all
They
the
fucking
LGBT
around.
inclusive signs in the school. They banned all that shit, and they lost over like 50% of their staff. That's why. Yeah, that's why we ain't got no bus drivers and shit. But
Because wait, they lost because they want rainbows and shit.
Yeah.
Well, fuck them. They can go somewhere else. Like I said, if it's that much of a thing, you can go to LGBT school. Then
yeah,
fuck
because you
'em.
know Waukesha is primarily Latino, so it's a lot of Trumpers. It's Waukesha straight
Well,
red.
You can trump and stomp like Kirk Franklin. We don't give a fuck. Get your ass on out of there.
Exactly.
It is what it is.
Exactly. That's what I was saying. Like in the future, you're gonna have to send your kids to Catholic or Lutheran schools just so they can know the difference between man and woman. Like it's
a crazy
unfortunate.
system. It's
Preferably not Catholic, but you know.
Whatever they ain't teaching is bullshit. But like I said, nowadays you got classrooms looking like an episode of Empire. It's
But hold
disgusting.
on, we still talking about the teacher.
No, yeah, I was just about to bring up the
producer
teacher. So
she keep pointing at us. So
So
we
the
gotta talk
teacher,
about the teacher.
the teacher situation involving with her ass out, basically, and I can't even. I mean, we're gonna show. I guess we can show some clips or some photos, but we can't even show the video the way I want to because she got her ass out, and I know YouTube's gonna flag us. But basically, what happened is you got a young girl that's going at a teacher, talking shit, getting into it. We don't know the context, but it eventually involves the young girl end up hauling off and hitting and attacking this teacher. This teacher, who was twice the little girl's size, starts fighting, and for a little bit, the little girl was holding her own. They get the hair grabbing, they get the grappling, but eventually, grown woman's strength prevailed, and the girl ended up slamming that little girl and slamming her to the ground, hit her a couple times, and end up pinning her to the ground and screaming for the kids to call for a teacher, call for somebody to come get them and whatever, because she's pinning the girl to the ground by the end of the video. And there was mixed reactions because a lot of people were outraged at those couple swings that the teacher gave, but then you got the other side where it's like, well, if a student hits a teacher, a teacher got to defend themselves. Fuck all that shit. I want to know, Breezy, where do you stand? Let's say you're a substitute teacher in this situation and a student begins to attack you, swinging aggressively. What's your next move? What's your next strategy? Are you just going to get whooped?
In front of a classroom full of students, I am not going to directly attack the student. Now, people will feel how they want to feel, but if someone tries to swing off on me, if one of my students try to swing off on me, and let's clarify, how old was she again?
She was in high school.
16.
So 16.
So she got a little muscle development.
Based on the
Start
video
jacking
that I
niggas off,
saw,
probably got biceps.
the swing was catchable. The swing was catchable to me.
You're
Wasn't
not big as
she?
that teacher was though. You about the same size as the girl.
Yeah, but I work out. I think I could catch a swing.
You smoke hookah and twerk.
I work out. I'm sorry. I bet you I could hold a wall sit longer than
No, you could. I agree. I don't feel like
I can
I don't.
squat more than you
Bree, I
can,
know
too.
you're nice. You don't want to fuck your bag up. You're not getting smacked by no random 16-year-old bitch.
I'm not getting rest smack, but I felt like she could have handled it better in front of the students. I feel like she must have got triggered because she immediately popped back. It wasn't even a thought
To
process.
be fair, she
needs
was
to
a
try.
substitute, so she's not trained
I get
for
it.
conflict
You don't have
She had
time
no
for this
attachment
today.
to the kids either.
She
Yeah,
had
she
no
not
attachment
trained.
for the kids, but I think that, you know, she could have handled that a little
So
bit
what
better.
happened if you
I wouldn't have
just
fought back.
let's say you get a crazy?
She would have got a swing off of me or whatever. I wouldn't have fought
Let's
back.
say when you get a
I would've-
crazy big hair salon, like when they used to have like the big, I don't know, whatever, like you have a big world class hair salon. It finally comes out, Breezy Salon, and it's a 16-year-old, one of your a customer's daughter come at you because you did some crazy shit. You gonna just let her slap you? Slap
I'm
the
not
curlers
popping
out your
back.
hand
No,
because you don't fuck your bag up.
I'm not.
I just
fucking
don't
my
buy you
bag
getting
up.
slapped. Maybe this is a new Breezy. Maybe you're nearing
No,
30.
I'm not fucking my bag up because I just feel like in a teacher in that type of professional setting, as substitute teachers, as far as I'm concerned, they make some pretty good money to come in for one day and bullshit a class. They damn near make more than regular teachers on a daily pay rate. I wouldn't be fucking
So you
my
gonna get
bag
slapped
up.
and just keep teaching the
I'll
class?
get slapped. I'll collect my workers' comp
They
check.
gonna clown us
I'll
Breezy
file
saying-
charges. I'll be gladly sitting on
Be on their
disability.
phone.
I think she's saying the right and mature way that you're supposed to go about it.
I don't think it
I
was
don't think
worth
most
going
people
back
would
and
be able
forth.
to
Now, I
do that.
will say she shouldn't have been dressed. She shouldn't have encountered that situation just based off what she had on. Once I would have got on the floor, like I would have had to get up. Like, okay, my ass is out.
There should never
You know
be
what
an
I'm
ass
saying?
out.
Like, it should have never got to the point where her
That
ass was
motherfucker
out.
was
As a
She could have
teacher,
easily calmed her down. It
ass
should have
out
never
shouldn't even
escalated.
be a possibility.
Yeah,
Like
she'll
when
be
you
starting
look
an
at your
OnlyFans
fit
soon.
as a teacher, there should never be. You should be able to go upside down, round and round, no ass out.
Facts.
In any type of situation where the wind could blow or something can happen and ass is out, that shouldn't be a fit that you should wear around.
This
school.
goes back to my original point. We need more Finster type principal teachers. I'm tired of these young hottie thotty,
Yeah.
maxi short club shorts, fucking little
I don't
kids in
know.
the
That
back getting
definitely
ran
wasn't the
through.
dress code.
Where was y'all at when I was trying to run through teachers? That's what I'm really mad at. Y'all fighting and fucking now. Where was y'all at when we?
That's how you know
we
they
need
desperate. They
old,
don't-
the teachers is
sad
going
Miss
down.
Dove type
We-
teachers.
Yeah, we
Desperate.
shout out Miss
Our
Dove,
teachers was weak.
but
Rest in
she was
peace, Miss
legendary.
Miss
Wait,
Dove, that would have never
wait,
happened to
time
Miss
out.
Dove.
Miss Dove died?
No,
She's still here.
Don't scare me. You said rest in peace. Scared the shit out of me, bro. Like, don't play like that.
That would have never
I
happened to Miss
almost had to shut the episode down for a second, bro.
Hoping you didn't
Shout
hear
out Miss Dove. But
And then too, a lot of times, like I was telling y'all, like some people, especially these kids nowadays, they go through so much bullying. They're not getting attention at home. And no telling how that girl felt that morning.
She probably
What made
was
her
hungry,
pop
like
off
you
like
said,
that.
right?
She was probably fucking hungry. Her mom's spending her money on vapes and fig bars and shit. You know, like I'm just
I
saying,
think
like.
broke kids need a separate school. I think we need to start separating
But I
kids
think
by
we need
tax brackets.
therapists. We
Have that
need
now.
counseling.
They do. You gotta get
We need
counseling.
counseling.
It's not good enough. It's not good
Public
enough.
school.
Public
counseling in
school,
the school.
private school.
No, because here's the thing. I think the biggest gap is the lower middle class and lower class is the biggest gap when you see like mentality. Motherfuckers, especially when it comes to black people. Black people that are in that lower middle class, the middle class, where they're good enough to where they got the money to raise kids and be comfortable. Then you got the raised off of survival, drugs, or free check black people. And those are the two that end up getting grouped together in a lot of these settings. So these lower tier drugs, St. Patrick level niggas, they need their own school. Like these motherfuckers that are grow like that. My mom grew up on child support in Section 8. My grandma was on child support in Section 8. My great grandma was a crackhead. Like those generation of kids, they need their own little Custer,
Well,
their
they
own little
do.
shit over there.
They just need
But that's the
a
thing,
special
like-
part in the schools where they can seek help and counseling and guidance. I
They-
think when I was in school, they had that. They had something for those kids.
You went to
So,
school in Brook.
alternative
That was in
schools.
Brooklyn.
They got
That's
that,
not
but
in
I
every
mean,
school.
at the end of the day,
Well,
it's up to you
that's
as
why
a
you need
parent.
to be voting for your congressman and your city
It's up to you
officials.
as a parent to move in a better neighborhood because a lot of times your kids only go to school where you live at type shit. So you got to move in a better neighborhood that got better schools.
Here's
and
the
you get
problem
away
though,
from
Ronnie.
that, like,
As black people, a
the
lot
only
of
way.
times we want to live around other black people. It's hard. A lot of us, it's hard. Like I said, I know a lot of us, we want to live out in the suburbs, but for a lot of black people, it's like, I don't want to live out there. But the problem is when you live around us, we end up having to take our children to the schools in that vicinity. And unfortunately, and what I'm dealing with right now is you got lower level parents with trash kids that will drag your kid down to their level because their kid is retarded.
You gotta tell your kid at a young age that they kid is like you saying.
So,
you gotta tell your kid that.
You can reinforce all you wanted to your kid.
My mama used to tell me that growing up all the time. You can't be like these motherfuckers. These motherfuckers ain't shit. She told me that when I was a kid.
Think about how you was in elementary and middle school. We listened to our parents, but it wasn't as strong. Like that peer pressure when you in middle school is a whole nother level.
Yeah, internet made it worse for the kids.
When we look back now, yeah, we know like we listen and it all makes sense. But when you in middle school, high school, that peer pressure hit different. Mm-hmm. And the last thing I want is my child being smart, but since everybody else has a painted face and a red nose, she putting the painted face and a red nose on too because she think it's normal because we're in Clownville. We're at a circus. So we got to take our kids out of the circus, okay? Let these other motherfuckers put fire in their mouth and all the bullshit. And they do what they do. Like the circus shit needs to stop. And we just got to separate because a lot of the bullshit that we're dealing with as a society comes from lack of funding in the school system. And it comes from being in school and lower level kids, retarded ass, stupid, don't give a fuck kids, distracting those who actually want to learn from advancing. Yo, stupid ass kid. So let the bozos go to Bozoville.
That do go on though. Like you got a lot of kids that waste time and they taken away from kids that's actually trying to get something out the class type
exactly.
shit.
That's true.
It's
Hey,
funny
and
because
it's happening now more than it was when we was coming up in school because the kids they not that smart. No
so
more,
as teachers, y'all fighting these kids? Cause Eric, you a big nigga. Ronnie? Y'all are grown niggas. Like y'all fighting the 16-year-old who try y'all? Are y'all what they say we supposed to do? Women PMS, push, muff.
I don't have to fight. I can muff. Like I said, I could give a muff and just do a 20-foot muff at that point. I'm not
20 muff.
I feel like it's all about how strong and whatever you are. As a woman or as a woman that's getting squared up on by another little girl, especially a 16-year-old girl, I can understand why she felt the need to box. Because at 16, you don't have grown woman strength, but you don't got kid strength either. Yeah, so you can at 16, you can knock a grown person out if you hit them, if you get caught. So I can understand her getting hit by that first one and feeling the need to actually have to box and whatnot. Whereas, like, if I'm in that situation and the 16 hits me, I'm not going to feel the need to box. I might slam or grab, whatever. It's a little different. So I think it's all about your strength level. Like,
but you
we
gotta
know what's
do
overkill and what's not
like,
overkill.
People saying what they not going to do, you're not going to sit there
you
and
need
let
to
nobody
restrain.
beat
That's what
you.
you need to do.
But
she
did.
did.
But if you can,
She got a couple punches off. Then she tried to restrain her after she was blowing her from the top.
If you restraining somebody and they
Fuck that.
swinging on you, you gotta,
that.
you know.
I think you restrain
Not worth
if you
losing
can
my job.
restrain.
I'd rather get my money and sue the school
I
for
think
lack
you
of protection because we need security guards around these schools anyway. She should have been able to hit one button or call her walkie-talkie or do one text. Somebody should have been at the door when she originally complained.
No, she was. She was on the
did.
phone. She was on the phone, and they was taking all day to get to the class. But like you said, there should be more security in the schools.
She would have been kicked out of my class before that happened.
They need to be, more alert and more, whatever, because it took too long for security to come up in that class. Because they had a whole fight, a whole altercation, whole argument. Security still ain't come. So
let's talk about the bigger
crazy
issue that you kind of brought up, Ronnie, and Bree, where you was talking about, like, these motherfuckers, there is no more child's place. There is no more fear of being a kid and talking back to an adult. We've blurred the lines between kid and adult. I feel like this generation, they've been so, I don't want to raise the kids how I was raised. I want to be different. I want to break the cycle. And there is some cycles that needed to be broke. But I feel like our generation, we went overboard trying to change everything that we were raised on. And now what we done is we're raising entitled little brats who feel like they're on the same level as adults now. So because we talked about that, you mentioned it on the off, we never saw kids trying to fight teachers back in the day.
Never.
That was unheard of. Now
you was getting your ass beat when you got.
Now you see it all the time. And why do you think that is? Because they feel comfortable doing it.
The kids don't really have respect for authorities. I mean, a lot of people don't have respect for authorities, but children these days, they talk to adults like they their peers.
To tell my son all the time, I'm not your little friend.
I don't know, like I don't know. I don't like it. You feel me? I'm getting older. I'm like, this shit ain't funny. A lot of adults our age think the shit cool. They think it's funny, but it's not. You feel me?
Because it's that equal rights shit we've been pushing with the kids. Like everybody, at the end of the day, as a kid, you should be put in your place so we can teach you, train you, and then you can work your way up to that adult level. But what's happened now is that equal rights movement has trickled down to the kids, where we want everybody to be able to express how they feel and do what they want to do. And like when it comes to children, their minds aren't even fully developed yet. They don't fully know what they're doing. So as their minds are developing and as they're absorbing the world, that's why the parents are here to guide them and mold them. But what the new society is trying to do is take away the guiding and take away the molding and take away all the power of the parent. No, just let your kid be them. Let them be who they are.
But the parents
and
do
what
that
happens is they
themselves,
just
too.
becomes easily manipulated by the shit that's in place to manipulate them now. They're trying to eliminate the influence of the parent as much as possible, I feel like. And just turn it into a free-for-all with the kids.
The parents do that too when like they don't want other adults telling their kids anything. Like, oh, you can't tell my kid nothing. It's like, okay, well, you not telling them nothing. Can't no other adult tell them nothing. Like, what are we doing here? Like,
Well, I think that depends, though. It depends on what you're telling them. Because certain shit I don't want you telling my kid either. Whatever, if they're in the wrong, they're in the wrong. I don't care. If you're an
I'm
adult.
talking about in the form of like the
discipline.
conversation, like respect and little shit like that. Like, I'm not talking about like just parenting your
Right.
kid. Like, if an adult hear or see your kid do something out of pocket and they address it, that's what adults should do to kids.
So y'all got the old school mentality with y'all kids. I mean, to a certain level where, back in the day, that's the problem what Ronnie was saying. We could get checked and our parents would be like, okay, now maybe not whoop, but you can get checked, discipline. That seems like that's not
Because a
prevalent
lot of adults
anymore.
will check your kids and threaten to tell you and be like, if I see this again, I'm going to tell your parents type shit. Like, that's what they need to do. Like,
No,
they don't
it's
want to
not
do
like
that.
that
I don't think
no
people.
more.
I don't think they scared of their parents. We was scared of our parents. That's why we didn't really hit teachers.
Not just our parents, but when we went to other, like Colin, we all grew up together, little kids. We had the same respect even when we went to each other's houses.
Yeah.
We knew we could still get popped, still get checked. There was like a mutual.
Yeah, but they get the green light. How about a random person like a substitute teacher or
Yeah.
somebody at the daycare? See, you get the green light when you like. I don't watch kids if I can't pop them. That's my rule.
Yeah.
Family,
I would say
nephews, a little cut. If I can't pop them or whoop them, now we got that green light to an extent. But it's just certain
teachers
kids.
used to have that
But
green
teachers,
light.
like,
Yep.
as the generations
They
go
sure
on,
did.
like, back in the day, they was, hitting the kids with the rulers. That
Yeah.
went
The
away.
adjustment paddle,
When
remember?
when we was coming up, teachers would snatch us up,
Yeah,
slam
you
us
get snatched up,
sometimes.
yeah.
Like, now teachers can't even make contact with the students at all. So it's just like, shit, like you said, like it's a free fall. Like the kids know this too, so if they know it's no repercussions, they gonna act.
So
out.
you find out, like, let's say your oldest son is 13. He big. He swing at a teacher jack him up. Don't hurt him, but he jack him up. It's viral. Are you checking the teacher? Or you going?
He
hey,
swung
son,
on the teacher.
Yeah, he swung on the teacher. That's
I'm
the
checking the
scenario.
teacher because I'll fuck him up. You don't need to do
See,
shit.
Bree, that's your
You
problem.
send his
Bree.
ass
That's
to
your
the
problem.
office. No.
If my son
I'm
swung on a
not
grown
letting
man,
no teacher swing off on my son.
So why is
Yeah, no,
your
Fuck outta
son
here.
swinging
No.
off on a grown teacher, Bree?
It don't matter. You should have sent
Okay,
his ass to the fucking
so here's the
office.
question though, Brizzy,
Your
because
parent-
you're not wrong. But then the question is,
Because if
what
they
do you
what
do
if they
to the
that
son
with
though?
your daughter? What you gonna do?
But does the son still get
Nah,
disciplined?
I'm
Are you checking him too, or just
Oh,
the
I'm
teacher?
checking him.
Okay,
And I'm checking the teacher. But if a teacher restrained my son and didn't swing off on him, I'll still have a conversation with him.
I'm
That's
saying, let's
what
say,
I'm saying.
I'll get my
like
son.
I said, like I grew up.
Let
Like,
us say
I've
your-
seen teachers slam students and was at work the
You're
next day.
You're not
Yeah,
slamming
yeah.
my kids.
So
Fuck
how
outta
can you
here.
I'm saying,
restrain?
let's say-
I'm coming to slam
How
you
can
the
you
next
restrain
morning.
a
But let's say your
13-year-old
son
boy,
just
though?
hauling off
Like,
swinging.
How
You're right,
can you
Ronnie.
restrain that?
But Ronnie, they
One thing about my son, I'm already knowing.
See, the reason
if
that
Milo,
And we're not talking
if
about
he
two
swing
women
off on the
fighting, we
teacher,
talking about
the
two
teacher
men
is
fighting.
definitely swinging him.
Can I
off
tell you
back.
why, Ronnie? To answer your question, we could get slammed or checked with a teacher because we feared our parents more than
have
a
to worry
teacher. So we were like, we'll just let this go. We'll call this a wash. Don't call my mama. Maybe I might get it in school. But we were scared to go home. And I don't think parents are scared. I just see overall, like there's no, like I said, it was like an urban legend, folklore. Like this dude swung on a teacher. He getting
Yeah, you didn't hear
expelled.
about
We
that.
never seen him again.
That's true.
We knew
But
it.
now we
wild
got
stories.
teachers that's really talking shit to these kids. You call my son a bitch ass nigga?
Well, that's
You're getting
that's
flunked.
true. That's true.
These
That's a little
we
different,
got
though.
young teachers now.
That
These
made-
teachers can't handle the pressure.
Nah,
back then,
nah,
no, these older teachers we used to have back then used to put us in our place.
She right though.
They showed us that
because
fat meat was greasy.
You're picking-
These
you're
teachers
pick-
not doing
you're
that
picking
no
The
more.
weak
kids is
little-
disrespectful. Though. If you got a
And we
kid calling you a
respected
bitch ass
authority.
nigga, that's not happening.
Oh, excuse me, sir. Put your
I'm
phone
talking
down.
about the
Fuck
teachers.
You.
These
Go to the
teachers
office.
are young.
Fuck
They're
you.
disrespectful too now. They're talking to the kids like they have no sense. It's different.
Because
No,
I
you-
will
you
say,
are
They're
right.
not
You're right,
elders.
because we didn't see
not.
The
when we
teachers
was
back in the
growing
day
up-
used to be the Sunday school teachers too.
See again, Bree. You're pointing out the
Man,
bad,
the teachers
rude
we had
teachers.
growing up, you talk shit to us
Now
too. They
the
never
teachers
called
is
us a bitch
bad.
ass
The
nigga.
teachers you
but-
wasn't bad back
Okay,
in the day.
well, okay. What about good teachers, like the old lady who broke her leg when she tried to fight the student, or the older guy who hit up the young man who was coming at him and got fired? What about the niggas who
Yeah.
really just want to teach, even though they subs or they teachers,
That's-
they're not
they
and they're
coming to school
passive
getting assaulted
and they're
by
getting
kids.
assaulted? You're damn near
Multiple
saying my
kids.
son can swing on you.
That's
That's the
'cause,
problem.
like,
Okay,
And
Eric-
then,
fine.
nah,
Like
one
Eric
Don't
kid
Kids
take
beat
my
up the
son's
teacher.
phone. You don't pay no
Fucking
bills,
kids
bitch.
overcharged.
That's the problem. Sorry.
At the end of the day, man, some of these kids need their ass beat. I'm sorry. Like
If the mom
reason
ain't
why
beating
I'm a
their
little
ass,
more lenient with teachers is
then
because I know I
wife
didn't
gonna beat
raise
their ass.
kids that would get their ass.
Can I
beat.
put this
That's
out? You whoop
fact.
the teacher and then you whoop the parent, you reinstate it and you get a raise. How about that? You want to talk? Sorry, you want to talk crazy?
I can get with that.
How about that? I whoop both y'all niggas' asses. I get a raise and you're banned from the school. That's what I want. Cause I'm caping for teachers and bus drivers now. They have it harder than we had. We had little fights, fingering bitches in the back. We did little shit,
I mean, these
but
kids
we was.
bringing guns to school
Bro,
like
it's
a
crazy.
motherfucker.
Here's the
Shooting
thing, Colin.
teachers.
This is the reason why I'm
Six-year-olds.
forced to cape. This is the reason why I'm forced to cape for teachers. Is because you're asking teachers nowadays to not only raise kids that aren't being raised at home, but discipline them without having authorization to really discipline at all. You can't hit them. You can't really even say anything to them because half of them are depressed and got anxiety and all this other shit. We didn't have none of that shit was growing up.
Child abuse
Well, we
charges,
did,
you
but
can
we
take.
didn't.
I'm
It's
saying
not
we
even
had it,
fucking
but
worth
it wasn't labeled that,
Yeah.
so we didn't get that benefit of the doubt.
If the
not
kid,
well.
if the kids swing out first, they're not gonna get a
You
charge.
still getting charges.
No, you
That's
not.
crazy.
You getting
These
some.
kids
You
need
getting
that.
community service or something. We have a teacher in the background saying you're still gonna face charges.
Bottom of the
It's not-
line.
you can lose your teacher license getting a battery ticket, just having a bar fight.
That's true.
Like it's not even worth it.
Let me tell y'all
Bitch,
something.
if you ain't got no job, you need to restrain that little motherfucker.
the world is
Can't do
gonna
that
Think
though.
twice.
You could get a
Think
charge
twice.
if you restrain them.
No, you're gonna get off if you restrain. As long as you're not punching back like that lady was in the video.
Bro, these
On
little niggas
top
is
of her,
big.
dog.
Don't-
She
she
forced
is-
it.
She might have forced a little, but restraining people it's just not restraining people. Like
You can
I'm just
teach
trying
them
to
a
put-
lesson in a different way. Like you don't
Why you
have
think-
to
Bree,
fight
why you think
back.
bitches be
That's
getting
they-
slapped up? It's
people
hard to
like
restrain
that
people.
come from households, clearly broken homes, where all they see is fight. That's
Well,
you can't always let people get
I'm
to
sorry,
you like
Breezy.
that.
Sometimes broken homes get broken bones. Like I said, if you want to come home, if you want to come to school with that bullshit, you're gonna
Yeah,
get
get
slammed.
your
on.
ass
This
Okay.
is
Fisher
my
shit.
advice.
And you're
This is
not
my
gonna get
advice.
unemployment, so good.
That's
Go find you
sometimes
another
people
bag,
don't want- but-
motherfucker. You ain't getting
and
unemployment.
Breezy,
for
Hey,
hands on
I bet you that
her.
young girl
Tell you
ain't
that right
gonna
now.
be swinging
But
on
let me
random
say-
She
niggas
might
now.
get expelled. Oh well,
Nah,
she'll
the
be at
young
another
girl,
school.
The
She'll
young
give a
girl
fuck.
made a long post talking about some, didn't nobody
Yeah,
help
nobody
her,
help me.
and she ready to get back in the field. She said,
Yeah,
like,
of
this
course.
little, this
That
little
was the
girl
quote.
crazy.
Because this was just a clout
Lost.
opportunity for her. For her, see, her age, they look at this as just clout, and I can be even more.
Well,
tough
she
and
got
more
whooped by
retarded.
teachers,
Exactly.
It's like
She
prison.
mad
That's
because
what
she
you
on
got.
the
We
wrong
older. We
side of the
shouldn't.
clout.
As
Yeah, she
teachers
gotta get her
shouldn't be giving
status
in to
up,
that.
yeah.
Not in this TikTok
It is-
era. I wouldn't
See,
have given in to that
it's too
shit.
many jail school comparisons now in normal schools. That used to be reserved for like the bad schools, alternative schools. Now I'm seeing, even I see my little cousins move, I'm like, this is damn near like a little cool little like survival. I mean, it's always
Because-
been like that, but it's work. Because now, like I said, we went to Jabos, Paul. Now kids is out here with
They want designer.
$1,000 outfits.
Once
Parents put them on the firm, like their kids is out here drippier than me, broke though.
Once
broke.
we got rid of discipline, and we did this equal opportunity shit for kids, and we turned raising kids into a clout opportunity, because now with social media, that's the reason why these kids are spoiled too, because everybody wants to post their kids doing whatever. So even the shitty kids are getting shit now, because guess what? If I post my kids and we all got Yeezys, I can get some clout out of the deal. I post my kids getting a haircut, even though that's the only time I seen them this week. It looks like I'm father of the year. So a lot of kids are benefiting from clout chasing parents as well, that aren't really raising their kids, but they're doing just enough to keep the social media buzz
Can I
going.
put a little side note? I don't want to get canceled. We can cut this out. shout out to autism awareness. I'm seeing a lot of parents using their kids with autism for clout chasing.
Oh yeah, I'm saying
We get the awareness. I'm seeing it a lot.
Shout
and
out
I'm
Ice-T.
Don't pimp your son or daughter out with autism. I'm seeing it is disgusting.
It is disgusting.
Don't try to. I love awareness. Shout out to our family that's autistic. I see y'all clout chasing with the kids.
I feel like a couple
Just
years
notice.
ago, a lot of autism kids got fucking viral. Now everybody kid autistic and shit. I feel like some of y'all just telling y'all kids to cross their eyes and shit because I'm not buying all of it. I'm sorry.